Hello, and welcome to this episode of Technomancy. Now, this episode was inspired by some events that have unfolded for me professionally over the course of the last couple of weeks. For a little backstory, I was contacted and asked if it was possible to recover files that had been deleted on a USB thumb drive. I told the person to eject it immediately from their system and not attempt to do anything with it until I had had a chance to look at it. I was able to recover all of the files. Life was good. However, recently I was informed that it is impossible to recover files that have been deleted off of flash media. So today, I'm here to show you, the viewer, that not only is it possible, it's actually pretty easy to recover some deleted files. So to start with, we're going to open up Windows Explorer here. And you can see here that I have an 8 GB flash drive plugged in. And on this flash drive, I have some pictures from a car show that I attended in 2010. There's some pretty cool pictures on here. And if you're a car guy or gal, and it would just really honestly be a shame if anything happened to those pictures. And oh no, something has happened to those pictures. Now, before I show you how to go about recovering deleted files, first I want to cover a little bit of, well, how it's even possible to recover these deleted files. And to do so, it would actually probably be helpful if you would think of your storage device as a file cabinet. And inside of the file cabinet, you have file folders that have index tabs on them so that you can find what you're looking for. And if you were to grab one of those file folders, you would be able to access the contents of your file. When you delete a file in Windows Explorer or in your file browser on your Linux system or in Finder in Mac OS, you're not actually, well, to go back to our analogy, you're not pulling the contents of the file out and throwing it in the rubbish bin. Instead, what you're doing is removing the file index tab so that the next time you have files to store, you know that you can use the storage space in that hanging file. So what the software that we're going to use does is, instead of looking for the index tabs, it actually goes through all of your files to tell you what's in each of them. So the software we're going to use is Recover, made by Piriform, and you probably just heard that it's asking for administrative access. You do have to have administrative access to do this because it deals with the raw file system. So on your home computer, that won't be a problem. On a business computer, that could very well be a problem. So what our software here, and yes, I called it Recover. When you go to Piriform's website, they say that it's called Recover, but it ends in an A, so I pronounce it incorrectly. You know, I pronounce GIF with a hard G too. Anyhow, on with the show. We're going to step through the wizard here, and on this page it's going to say, show me all of the files that you find that have been deleted. Only show me files that have an image format, music, documents, etc. Now I'm going to show all files. And then you can search everywhere. In our case, we know that it's on a media card or external storage. You can also only look in My Documents. If you deleted the files from the recycle bin, you can use that option, or you can search for any named file in the file system. So we go to Next. If you try to find a deleted file and Recover is not able to, you can scan again with Deep Scan, but that takes quite a lot longer. In our instance, we've just deleted the file, so we run through, and you can see right here a list of all of the files that Recover has found that have been deleted. Furthermore, you can see a dot here that tells you the likelihood of being able to recover it, and over here it even tells you the state that it's in. Now, as you can see here, sometimes files are unrecoverable. Back to our file cabinet, once a file folder has the index tab removed, if you open the file cabinet up with new contents to store, and you see a file folder with no index tab, and you remove those pages and put in the new pages, after you've thrown away the old pages, obviously you can't get them back. So, and in this case, it even tells us what file has overwritten that. So we go down through here, and we can see a list of all of the files that I might be able to recover. Now, if we sort this by file name, we can see that all of our pictures started with an I, so I would be able to go down here to, whoops, went past it. Go here to the I's and select all of those files, and then I hit recover. At this point, it's going to ask, where do you want to recover these to? And you will want to recover these files to a location that is not on the original medium, because again, the operating system would think that it is allowed to write to those locations because there's no index on the file folder. So if you were trying to recover something from your internal hard drive, you would want an external hard drive or a second internal hard drive to be your destination for the recovered files. Now in this instance, I'm going to recover these to the desktop. Now, I'm using the free version here. Recover would, or Piriform rather, would love me to upgrade to the paid version, so they're going to advertise that, but I'm going to hit OK here. I'm going to go here to my desktop, to the new folder, and there you see those files that I had deleted in their original state. Now, what would happen if we tried to recover something that was unrecoverable? Let's just try to find something. I don't know. So, we've got this file here called untitled.jpg. It says it is unrecoverable. I'm going to hit recover anyway. I'm going to send it to my folder there. Now it says that it has partially recovered it, but if we try to open it, we get nothing. So as you can see, as long as you attempt your file recovery within a reasonable amount of time and the storage device hasn't been accessed, your chances of recovering, even on a flash-based media, are very high. Now you may recall, if you've watched my computer backup video, that I recently had a situation where I was moving a folder from one hard drive to another, and that folder contained all of my music library and quite a few photos, and was something in the neighborhood of 19 gigabytes in size. Something went wrong in the process. To this day, I don't know what that was. And in the process, I had 20 gigabytes, well, 19 gigabytes of free space because the directory was no longer in the original location, nor was it in the target location. So I attempted to run a recovery using Recover. But I wasn't exactly sure where the computer would have decided that that file was. And so I used the Search Everywhere option. And again, if you've watched that computer backup video, you might have noticed that I have something in the neighborhood of 5.5 terabytes of internal storage that the program had to go through. That process took something in the neighborhood of 6 hours. And by the time it presented me with a file list, several of those files had been overwritten because your operating system is constantly creating temporary files and moving temporary files. And so through the course of the day, through the course of that 6 hours, while my operating system was working, it had ruined my chances of recovering a lot of those files. Now, in my instance, I actually had a chance to stop and think about that, and I was able to recover that from my online backup. Which brings me to some tips from the Technomancer. Tip number 1. This is not a replacement for a good backup solution. Even doing a daily backup to an external device is a better long-term recovery solution than relying on a product such as Recover, even as good as it is. The reason for that is, well, tip number 2. Time is of the essence. If I deleted these files today and did not realize that I had a situation where I had lost files for several weeks, I probably would not be able to get them back. Or there would be several files that I was not able to get back, so I would be looking at a partial recovery at best. Which leads me to my third tip today. Not all deleted files are recoverable, much as the instance of this untitled.jpg. That said, as long as you catch the situation fast enough, you have a very high chance of recovery, and it's very simple to do with the right software. So did this video help you? Let me know in the comments. While you're at it, subscribe to the channel. I have more videos in the works with tech support tips, with cybersecurity tips, product reviews, and you won't know about any of them if you haven't subscribed. Do you want to help support future development of these videos? Or would you just like to say thank you to me by buying me a coffee? I accept Ethereum and Bitcoin. You'll see those wallet addresses on your screen right now. So that's it for this episode of Technomancy. We'll see you next time. And until then, remember, it's not magic, it's Technomancy.